So the definition of recession is about our GOP dropping by 2 quarters, 2 consecutive quarters. So we're already there by the old definition. But if you listen to Fox, they call that Biden recession. They don't call it recession. So these people are believing that the Biden recession, is not a recession, and it is actually, it is a different recession caused by the politicians. But, economy goes in the circle and eventually you come to recession. It has always been that way. So I am not going to classify that as a political movement, but rather I would say it is kind of triggered by COVID, just because during the COVID, many things shifted. That's why today we're talking about scaling in recession. There has a lot of wisdom to it, because this recession is not about the bank over lending and the credit crashes like 2008. It is different. This recession is what I called grassroots recession. It is a recession that impacting you and me. We're not the big banks. So when they were going through recession in 2008, folks, if you were me, I didn't even feel it. I think life is normal. I didn't extend myself to the degree that I filed bankruptcy, so it didn't bother me. And so if you are not extending your credit to that level, you don't even feel 2008. But if you eat, if you drink, and if you go on driving, you will feel this recession because it's coming at you with much higher demand on cash. That is what we call the grassroots recession. So now let me introduce myself. There's a couple of you, I have not seen you before, and welcome to my webinar. And I serve on this federal appointed committee, which is called TAP, Taxpayer Advocacy Panel. It is a volunteer committee, and you get on the board and you provide advices to IRS, of course, through this big machine. So when you have anything that you like IRS to improve, you go on to IRS.gov, you can look for improving IRS, then you will come into a place to put in your input. When you do that, and we actually get the list of it, so in different committees, and we will be digesting your comments, then submitting that to IRS if it is valid. And so you can email me on this one, Ying at communitycpa.com. That is actually my personal email, and it is my email. And you know what? It is my only email. I literally don't have anything else. I just have this one email. So don't spam me, okay? Don't send me things that is not really relevant. And just if you really need me, you know that you come here, you can get a hold of me. And I have this one book published in 2019, and I have 4 books lined up, and this is only one of the 4. And so the second one, I'm almost done, and it's called a 10 a.m. See, this one is 8 a.m. So I have a 10 a.m., I have a 2 p.m. and a 6 p.m. And in the 10 a.m. book, I will write about how to grow your business. But this one is about how to start up your business, right? All right. And no responsibility disclaimer, of course. Internet, the places people share everything, and we share responsibly, but that doesn't mean we are superhumans and knows what's going to change in the future and also knows everything we have today. So there's always a blind spot for someone like myself. I call myself a scholar, but I still, not study enough that I still have things I don't know, but that doesn't matter. You want to hear us and you want to use your judgment. And if you really need us to put our stamp on the opinion, and to come into Community CPA, subscribe to our services, right? All right. And this is the one I was about on Tuesday. I went on this panel, and you can see on that big screen, there was 3 other people with me, right? And we were at the table talking about issues related to the recession. So these are the people who are listening to us, and we had a really good session. So I kind of want to give you what we discussed. And of course, I'm speaking on behalf of and Janessa, on behalf of Katie and Anthony, and all three of them are, are representing an industry. So I will bring to the next screen for you so you can see them. So 4 of us are in the panel because we represent different sectors of industry. So would give you a more complete view of what's really going on, right? So I myself, you understand, and I have Community CPA .com as my focus in business. So the characteristic, what we see is what our 12,000 clients are doing. So if out of the 12,000 clients, you got a lot more people and selling their business, that gives you an understanding of how the market is going, right? Merger and acquisition. And then if you got out of your 12,000 clients, you have a lot of them are just failing in meeting the business and wanting to close it. And then you have a bunch of them with government funds and they still couldn't manage and they want to close it, but they wonder what's going on with the government money, right? So all of these commotions would give ideas to how I understand the economy. So when I talk about economy, I am really looking at my view. I am definitely not someone at White House knows what's going on for the whole country, but I really can see majority of small, medium-sized businesses, just like Community CPA. We're not HR Block, and we're definitely not KPMG. So we're the middle piece of the economy where you are too good to be going to HR Block, but you're also not good enough yet to spend so much money with KPMG. So you are here with us. So this is where we represent. And if you look at Tony Arrington, and he runs an HR service company, so top rank, and he actually hired an talent for you if you need someone to be your CFO, CEO, and he actually does that kind of business. So from HR standpoint, it's so important to have him in the panel as well, right? So this whole thing is related to Immigrant Entrepreneur Summit. And this Immigrant Entrepreneur Summit, I call that IES, is a 16 years old nonprofit and putting people together to learn how to do business. And Janessa is a young lady who serves as the executive director at Quad City Hispanic Chamber. So from her standpoint, she represents a lot of grassroots members, which are the Hispanic business owners. And so what she talked about is really representing the grassroots efforts or experience. So it's very valid from nonprofit standpoint, right? And then you have Katie, and Katie Wilson, and she runs an IT company. It's just simply one of the most important sector to know during the pandemic and to watch during the recession. So with 4 of us together, and the panel has to answer these kind of questions. So I have like 4 of these questions. So I'll give you the answers right here because that actually tells you what's going on with your local and with your next door neighbors in terms of the business or in terms of the life quality. Okay, so what are the problems that business in your sector have experienced over this past year? What are the major business concerns affecting business and their struggles? So a couple of those come out of this discussion. So one of the most standing out question is about the instability of being human, being person, being an employee. So every business from small to medium to large. I mean, I'm pretty sure Wells Fargo has the same issue, even though we are not talking about the large business, right? So the typical, the number one struggle and the number one, affecting the business is people. People in terms of they are no longer every single person on the planet start to watch their own life value differently. It is different because a pandemic is a little virus can kill you. And if that is what you know going to happen to you and what you are doing, and you want to preserve your life, you want to enjoy your life, and you want to take everything else as not important. Am I right? So in fact, the pandemic had made people to think their death is a lot closer to them than otherwise. There are more people living to 100 years old than ever, but the pandemic had made young people, had made people who never think about dying and thinking, well, it's time to take care of myself because I could just catch COVID and die tomorrow. That is not a one thinking. It is a disease in how human behaves. So it becomes a collective mentality. People are more self-centered. People are more into taking care of themselves. So what about your employer? No, that's not important. What about your job? We don't care. We can find another one. What about your business? It's so hard. Let's just give it up, right? So all of that, it is actually fundamentally related to you may die tomorrow. And in one of coaching programs, one of the coaching program, the first day when you go into this executive coaching program, what they tell you is that switch your mindset about when you are going to die. So we all know that people die at 100 years old or early, right? Most of people die after 70 and 90. But imagine that if you believe you're going to die at 150 years old, when you are 70, what do? You just had half of your life. You're going to enjoy the other half, right? So that is the mentality shift to otherwise, to the other spectrum, because people thinking that they're going to die or they're going to lose their time tomorrow. So that is what impacting the labor market. That is why, and you can't find anybody stick. So this is the experience the business people are experiencing, the business owners are experiencing, right? And what other things? The other things is mentality shift on pricing. Small businesses, and you can no longer survive on being cheaper, quicker, more efficient, and beat big company like Walmart, Target, and Google. It doesn't work that way anymore, right? So small business, technology had really leveled the playing field, and leveled in the way that you cannot be small anymore. Small, you don't have technology, you fail. But if you are big, you don't have, it's impossible. But if you want to be big and make money, you have to be efficient. You have to have IT, right? Technology. So the shift is that small business cannot survive on being cheap anymore. Not just because of the technology, and also because of what? Also because of material becoming much more expensive. So that's the second major business hurdles every small business is facing. Do you know how hard that is for small business owner to raise price? Do you know how hard that is? I literally have business people, they have to raise their price because their supply increased by nearly 50%. If they sell at price, they don't make anything and they lose money. For every sale they make, they lose money. And why would they still in business? But the business owner has such a hard time to raise price because their heart and feelings are so related to you because they know you. You coming in to buy their thing. Walk in, they immediately think of you need to pay that price, but now I need to increase that price over that. And I have business owner telling me that they can't sleep. They cannot sleep when they think about raising price. So what did they do? They did not raise price, then they close. So those are the struggles. So we talked about Those are the two big major struggles, people and the materials. But then you're just gonna say that, okay, Ying, what else business would even struggle other than people and materials? And you just like said nothing. You know, what you said is what we struggle every day, but it's different, right? And this time, that struggle content is different. The people struggle, the people side of struggle, I'll tell you, you cannot fix it. And you just have to accept that is going to be the mentality going forward for the next 10 years. It might slowly recover because people would not see so many deaths and they would not be so threatened by the virus. And they might see more people living over 100 years. So make them feel like lifespan is longer, but that's going to take time. And that will take 10 years. So you got what you got. If the humans on earth is thinking this way, that's how they behave. As an employer, as a business owner, you want to counter that. You want to figure out what can you do to make that better? What can you do to cure that thought? Which means work less, enjoy more. That may be a no answer for small business. Maybe that's an answer for your employees, but not for you. So you can work 80 hours a week, right? But that is truly a solution you need to look for. On material side, and then you've got to figure out how you take on the market. As a small business, you are not fighting for low prices. You're not competing on that. You're competing on uniqueness. You're competing on something like really weird. Other people didn't have it, but you do, okay? So I'll give you a good example. And you find CPA firm everywhere, don't you? And you know other CPAs. I'm pretty sure for every person in US, they know at least 3 CPA firms. But you're here with me because of what? So I have something unique. I talk to you. And as if you are the only person to me. I really talk to you. And I'm looking at this camera, looking at you, and your name listed here. I have a dialogue with you. So I'm unique. And Community CPA, we speak 9 different languages. We're unique. And we don't really even need privacy here, don't we? Because we just speak different languages. And among staff, we don't understand what each other says. And the client comes, they speak their own language. And you know, they can shout Hispanic outside of my office and I don't understand anyway, so it doesn't bother me, right? So that uniqueness. And where did you find that in your business? Don't tell me you don't have it. Everyone does. So I just need you to look deeper, figure out to compete in a different fashion. So that is what we identified, kind of summarized on the problems, what we see, right? This one, on the HR issue that you're seeing today, can you give some specific details on struggles as well as examples of that potential solution and the innovation companies are doing to address these concerns? Well, Elon Musk said that now the pandemic is over. And if you don't come to work, you want to work at home and just quit. And you have to come to work, okay? But Facebook, and you can work from home. And we even have people who used to live in California, move out of California because they can work from home anyway. So why would they want to stuck in California, right? So that is a large company are dealing with it. So now let's see what kind of specific struggles and the fix is out there. This panel had given a lot of solutions. And this panel had talked about the struggles. So a lot of the struggles, like I covered in the first question, it is a real difference in every human's mentality. We're not talking about your employee A, your employee B, no. We are talking about as a human generation, as a society, and that urgency to life, that afraid of losing to life had created this mentality that me first, okay? I have a new hire and I came in the company for 9 days and I quit. And when she quit, she said to me that, I want you to understand that in my life, and this is 20 some young years old lady. So she said, in my life, as if she lived for 100 years already, but not, right? And the most important things to me is myself. The second one is family. The third one is my community. And the fourth one is that people I just randomly meet. The last one is your business. So I decided to quit. Very good. And I think that become a focus, that become a mentality for a lot of young folks that you are working with. It is nothing wrong for them to think of themselves, number one, family, number two, brilliant. Community, number three, marvelous. I think is good, okay? So they are focused on people. Did you see that? They want to make themselves happy, make other people happy, and they don't see your small business as a people. They don't see you as a people. They see you as an object. You are an object. You are an employer. So all of the small business people, owners, folks, I want you to understand you are not a human. You are an object. So with that in mind, you know that to have this object survives, you need humans to be inside. So obviously, as an object, you need to figure out how to work with the human, and they're good humans. They're not even malicious people. They're just people that putting you at the last, at the end, and everything else comes first. So that would be a very specific struggle every small business have. So the solution is as following. Anthony, the one who does HR recruiting, and said that if you can go for HR recruiting, professional help on that, and have them measure personalities. And so obviously, majority of people might treat you as an object, but 1 or 2 times you can meet people who were business owner before. Now they come to work for you. These are jewels because they do not have the ability to treat you as an object. Or maybe they're coming from a family who were in business. They understand the business struggle. They come in with a different mentality. So the HR professional says that now when you find an employee, it is not about what they can do for you. Personality is, what's their belief is. So quiz on that before you hire. See how important that is? So that's one solution. Then Hispanic Chamber and Janessa said that, and when you work with your employees and knowing that business is not the priority, so you want to focus on what employee wants and give them what they want. They want higher pay, give them higher pay. They want more vacation, give them more vacation. But develop performance measures. If they meet the performance, they can do whatever they want, right? So it requires small business to really figure out what is your benchmark. If I am selling, say if I'm selling groceries for you, I'm the cashier. So what is my benchmark? So while you are doing cashier's job and avoiding making mistake and have never had any customer, and we measure you every week. If you did good last week, this week, you can go home early, or we will give you more pay, and you can take more breaks in between. But if that is not met, maybe no. So really tie the award into performance. Figure out a way to do that. I know you're going to tell me that, Ying, it's easier for you to say because you know that my business cannot have any performance. I don't even know what people do. And they're working at home. I don't even. Well, you still can work out a performance measure. So that's the task for you. And if you want my idea, I can hear you and I can give you my idea, but this is what the panel contributes. So now come down to Katie, and she runs an IT company, right? So what she did is with this kind of a human issue, and her employees are working from home, and she measures them by the productivity, and she knows who does what. And because computer technology had her to monitoring her employee in a very civilized way. And so she said that let them do what they want to do at the time they want to do. And so they will work at the time they want to work, as long as the productivity is there. So these are potential solutions, not cookie cutter. You cannot use one solution to another. Then you may ask me, oh, Ying, what did you do? You know, I don't claim myself doing the best, because we had 2 years people work from home, but we also, you know, had happened and finding people not working from home, they're actually on the beach, right? So those are the thing happens, but you know, can you just, because one person went on the beach, they're supposed to work from home, and you know, you cut off the whole thing from the firm? It doesn't really work that way, right? So it is a one-on-one situation, but you know that performance measure has to tie with your incentives. But if you're a retail store, you absolutely cannot have them work from home. Who's gonna work on the floor to help, right? Then you need to figure out a way to find out how to incentivize them so they want to do. And one of the story is, there was a hotel store and it had a large warehouse. So people walking up and down the aisles, and you know, it's quite an exhausting day to work. So the business owner, what they did is they created a fitness program. So every employee comes in would be measured with the steps they walk each day. So they treat that whole warehouse space as a gym. So they're saying that if you have 20,000 steps in a day, and you will lose what weight. So they measure staff, they measure employees by the steps they walk. So they draw a chart, and they will have the coaches coming in to tell the person that, oh, you need to do 5,000 more steps so you can reach your goal. So they made part of their business a fitness program. How smart is that? Right, folks? So these are innovative ideas in dealing with human. You're going to find a way to do that. Now you know why humans think the way they think, then you can. And the smartest people, the smartest animal on planet is still human themselves. So if you can identify human behaviors, and you can treat that behavior, right? Every business wants to grow, but at this time, at the recession time, it seems like there is a shrinking of many business lines, as well as acquisition and merger. What are your thoughts on strategies to address those growing concerns? How recession is impacting business? I will tell you that recession is another term of reordering. So redividing, reconquering territories. Recession is just a disruption of orders. Maybe you are the very bottom of the line. With recession, with the mess up, you could be becoming the front line. Don't see recession as just going downwards and be worse. No, recession is a perfect opportunity for someone who is ready to scale. And this is the question that, what kind of strategy do you have to counter recession and grow the business? So I will start with the IT, with Katie's. So on the IT side, with the pandemic, the requirement of IT is higher, right? More people are getting used to IT, to the social media, to online booking, online talking, and you You are a result of pandemic. You think you watch my video just because you like me? No, because you are so familiar with YouTube video, you just kind of stuck here. You're like, oh yeah, I get on, I watch. Easy, right? Easy. That easiness is coming from practice. So you were struggling in the very beginning to listen to Community CPA's webinar, then you got on, you got used to it, right? So these are the education to the population IT company is experiencing. They know that they got more audience. They know that they can take all of us to a higher level. So that is the growth. So for IT company, it is really to find that tools can free humans from doing anything. And the free humans or just call up, pick myself and goes, call Steve, my husband. And he'll be like on the phone already, right? And a video call to someone in Canada, talk to my mom. So those are things, it is already part of our life. And you think that doesn't represent some companies out there are so successful and they become the most important vendors to provide that service to us, So those are the things, really, your strategy is capitalizing human convenience. Figure out a way to do that. And so that's IT. And they putting in strategy to expand, to acquire, and to become bigger so that more people can use their application. And with the nonprofit Chamber of Commerce, and nonprofit also has this growing need because once you get through the recession, small businesses are struggling. And there's a larger business that are acquiring small business, and the chambers can be the place for the needs and desire to meet. So there comes opportunities. The chambers can be the matchmaker. The chambers can get donation from being a matchmaker, right? And the chambers can become the voice for small business to make sure that the federal government, the state government are taking care of the small business. So there's a lot of things you can do for today's new situation and it makes money. And with Anthony's HR service, of course, is a big deal. For the last 3 years, every recruiting company is making the top dollars because losing employee, needing new employees stay for 9 days and quit. And those kind of flipping around is worse than baby change diapers. Well, not so worse. Baby change diapers every hour. Okay, that's not a relevant comparison. So something changes frequently. What would that be? More frequent than oil change for the car, that's for sure, right? So it is just too much flip around, and HR company are making it. So now, if Anthony just go for old ways, he would not expand and make more. What he does is he introduce character introduction, analysis, character assessment, and match you not by IQ, but by EQ. Those are the things people are doing for employers. No longer so important for IQ. Of course, if you got your bachelor's degree, master's degree, PhD, nobody gonna question your IQ, but your EQ could be in the kindergarten. That is where people think that tomorrow they're gonna die. So today, let's not work for a minute more because I may die, so I better in my evening. That is literally an exaggerated version of today's mindset of a human. They may be already masked from that original thought, so become more of I am selfless, because I'm going to quit so I can take care of other things. And, mom and dad and brother, sister, and the kids, adopted children, and my dog, and everything, right? So there is a reason for your work. The object is not important. Only the humans are important. So one other technique that you should develop is as a business owner, as you, me, her, him, we need to somehow projecting ourselves to be a human. We need to somehow not an object. How can we become not object? The way to do that is to interact with your employees at personal level. Sure, you can be a CEO with 200 people down underneath you. To have you be personal with all your 200 people, that's hard. But you have your managers. And above your manager, you have your directors, right? So that is how you can turn your business, lesser of an object, more of a human. When you do you know what they think? Do you know what employees are thinking when you are human? They go, I'm first, my family second, my church the third, well, my boss the fourth, because she's really nice. I don't think I don't want to hurt my boss. I don't want to hurt this business owner because they have been really good to us. They did not say your company name. They say you. That is a strategy. And a lot of times our small business owners, it is already that way. You are already you, right? But when your employee wanting to depart from you, they, in their mind, they actually make you an object so they can move easier. And in your mind, you want to always avoid to be treated as an object. Try to get involved. Try to be part of the team. And that's the very fundamental, deep thinking strategy. And that is proven to be true at every level. Whether you are president or not, that theory is still true. Because when you don't really have interaction with the president, like President Trump, and you don't know him, and the criticism to him can be to the object, is easier. But if he's really in front of you and holding his hand out to you, shake your hand, goes, hey, nice to meet you, and you met that person in person, how difficult is that to throw all kind of things at that person when you met that person one-on-one in person? Very difficult. It takes a lot of gut to do that. But I also know that, of course, in principle, if something is wrong, the principle is wrong and it's supposed to be head on and pointed out human to human. So I see the struggle in this Gen 6 event and what Donald Trump did related to, top secret documents. And that itself is not related to our conversation, but what related to our conversation is Donald Trump has that personal power to make that one-on-one relationship. That's why he has followers like how he has it. So as a small business owner, if you have that kind of one-on-one connection with your folks, it will make it hard for them to flip on you. So that is a strategy, and you want to take it to heart. All right, so the other question related to is inflation and the market change impacting business. And this affects business vendors and other costs that you in your business. What are your thoughts on how business can handle inflation raise cost? And I touched that on that a little bit. And raising price, I will tell you that if you run a small business, you haven't raised your price yet, you are already late. you're already late. And you should have raised your price back in 2021, in 2020. I know the effect didn't really come through the system, so you may not predict that. But now your things is already coming out. You know how much it costs you to buy things. And I always tell my business owner that you can't look at your neighbors goes, he didn't raise the price, so I don't want to raise the price. That is so silly. And you do not care what other people do with the price. You need to calculate your own cost. And if that, okay, Ying, I don't know how to calculate my cost. That's why I don't know what my price should be. Then you really need professional help. You literally should know exactly how that would cost you, and for one meal and your charge. So for every meal we eat in the restaurant, that meal price includes obviously labor, obviously material, and also shared costs like rent and the utilities. Okay, so it is easier maybe to look at the material, so you know how much material growing price. And it is not as easy to allocate the labor, but you know that what is your total restaurant labor amount is, and with the increase of cost you have to have right now, and with the total sales that you normally do, and you literally can tag labor cost to every dollar you sell. Normally it's about 30%. So you got your food price 30%, you got your labor cost 30%. So your next 40% should cover your rent, utility, all of that. Let's count that to be 10%. So you make 30%. This 30% has sales tax in there, that takes away 7%. So you're left over with 23%. Out of the 23%, you have incidental expenses that take away the other 3%. So you make 20%. And you want to keep your 20%. So if your material increase by 10%, and you need to increase your prices by that 10%. And if your labor increased by 5%, you need to increase your prices by 5%. So if you got into a math, this is nothing too sophisticated. It is what I call formula. If you don't have that formula, you can call me and say, Ying, I need a formula. I will give that to you. But you need to have that formula to know how you adjust your price. I even told our restaurant owner that don't even have a menu anymore. Why do you need a menu? And you can print your today's price for that day. Or you can do the barcode and have the price changes every day on the computer, depends on your materials. But when you get low materials, lower your price immediately. And that way your customer knows that it's truly reflected on the market, nothing else. So you still make it, but you need to raise your price. This is really, it's not science, folks. And you cannot operate a business without raising price in today's environment. It's just not possible. And I can tell you it is not possible because at our firm went up and our labor cost went up and our rent maybe didn't go up because we manage our rent, but the rest of it went up. So we have to go up. And that is just really what the business calls for. But you don't want to raise your price without knowing even why you are raising it. So you need to give your client a very good explanation why you raise your price. I sometimes felt so guilty about raising the price. I talked to my client. I know you're paying $300 more. And let me tell you what that is so you would understand. If I come down on price with my system or anything, I will reduce yours. And that's truly how I communicate. I really, I never really set a goal to make personal wealth be my priority. I don't even care. I am the person that don't really care about materials. And I can go to restaurant to eat and to eat the food without MSG. That's my highest desire. I don't really have anything else to ask. And so, when I was young, I made a promise to myself, if I don't have to eat food with coupons, you know how when you don't have money, you just count coupons and you buy the food that is always available on coupon. And my time in Canada, And the only thing on coupon all the time is spaghetti. So I was like eating spaghetti for years. I was so sick with spaghetti. And I just promised myself that if I have money, please don't make me use coupon so I can buy whatever out there I want to eat instead of whatever coupon tell me to buy. That's my number one wish. My number two wish is to have a place of my own, which I have my house, you know, although I have mortgage, but I have my house. So that's already it. So everything I do, and I want you to be successful, and I, the kind of person, just want to make money out of people, and we want to help people. That's number one. But this number one goal told us when we raise price, we communicate. That's all you do. And your customer would be so understanding. I knew our client really understands, and they don't, you know, our clients understand what's going on with the economy. So the last question at the panel was discuss economic outlook for the next 6 months and asking us what we think business should be doing, focusing on, you know, focusing on what to scale. I will tell you everybody's answer. For the IT company, and the answer is that to continue doing development and research. And don't forget, there's a research credit that you can claim on your taxes when you do stuff like that. And so they are continue doing that. They're continue to give flexibility to their employee so they can work from home from anywhere they want, right? And on the Chamber of Commerce, the recommendation is that they will be focusing on their members and helping the members to grow. So if there's opportunity to connecting them and introducing them to IES event like that, and they will do. So, you know, they want to help the company to scale. So in turn, they have a very strong membership, right? And for Anthony with HR company, he's already doing so great. And he said that, and he need to understand the formula that I was talking about, and really projecting his sales better to scale. And he already know how to assess human intelligence and the EQ side of evaluation to match employer with employee with a perfect marriage. So he's already doing great. And he just need to know what is the price that he will ask. And he is talking about for the next 6 months, for will get down to the bottom line. But for other business people out there, that is your quest too. You want to know your formula, because that formula will guide you to where you need to be and will also guide you to serve your customer better, right? For myself, the next 6 months, Community CPA continue to expand. We want to expand our reach to companies that really felt difficult to go on to KPMG because they are too big of a tool for them. We want to help professional service, then to come into Community CPA. So we continue to expand not just by gaining number of clients, also expand our reach to other geographical areas. So that is my way of counter recession. Sure, recession will bring down some of our clients because the business is not going, they close or they sold, so we lose these clients. But we are, on the other hand, we're gaining the companies that who used to think that KPMG is working for them, but now they felt like, no, they need to relook at what they're doing and coming into a medium-sized firm, CPA firm, and here we are, right? So for the next 6 months, if you are charged with energy to grow your business, I want you to expand up and down and left and right in every way, every angle. And if you say, well, I haven't even got my house in order yet, I will take my opportunity to expand later. Don't do that. You don't need to get your house in order because your house will never be in order. It can be in order when you got your scale out and you got a bigger team. It will naturally become a smaller problem. So it will be called in order. And this is where you find out that some business, even though they are not really making millions, but they're expanding like a crazy. And you think that why are they doing that? The business owner is crazy. No, business owner knows the relativity. If you have one employee and giving you trouble, and you only have 2 employees in total, that's your 50% of employee are giving you trouble. But if you have the one giving you trouble, it's only 1% of employees. Do you care? No, right? So relativity does the tricks for business. So I want you to remember what I said and grow and don't stop. Because in business, if you don't grow, you shrink. There's no middle ground. And if you don't spend your days to work hard, and you will spend your day to shrink your business. You're gonna spend your time doing something. So if you don't grow your business, you shrink your business, and that's how you choose where you spend your time. And here, the last slide I have here for you is November 19, 2022. This is our National Immigrant Entrepreneurs Summit, and in here in DMAC on Ankeny campus. So I want you to register over here at IES. Did you see the website on the bottom right here, iesusa.org? If you log into the website, you will, or you just do the barcode and you will find information on IES. Couple of things here, folks. There are 23 webinars, seminars, 23 seminars in that event. Every single one of them, we screen them, we select them, we qualify them. They are the seminars you need to listen. They are the knowledge you need to have for this time. And it's very timely and it's very practical. And we also have an award. We want you to nominate people to us, the one that is a superstar in your mind. And there's the couple of awards. One is Business Leader Award, someone who is a business owner, but also leading the community. And of course, we're talking about immigrants, right? Immigrants who are not born here in the US. So Leadership Award and the Business Award, someone who had do good business and immigrants, right? And then Spirit Award, someone who had earned the Spirit Award by bringing up next generations or doing good businesses, and it's a community recognized veterans in business, and also is an immigrant themselves. So the last award is Immigrant Champion Award, and this one we have a special recognition this year. So I want you to come in to see what we have. And again, please know that everything we do, and this is nonprofit, and the Community CPA, we contribute to IES every year. So IES is operating under 2 big sponsors. One is Wells Fargo, the other one is CommunityCPA.com. And this nonprofit carries the mission desire of our firm. We want us to grow. And we, of course, is a business. We are there to make money, but making money is absolutely not our reason to exist. The reason to exist is to see all of you to run a good business and be successful, be proud of your own journey. That is the best award in human life, right? All right, so you now know, can email Catherine at communitycpa.com, and that's the phone number, folks. We open on Saturday, and I'm working on Saturday. So if you on Saturday, if you come to Des Moines a lot of times, and you can find me. And I do travel among the branches, but lately I've been kind of squatting over here. I will talk to you again. You enjoyed our talk and give you some light bulbs, hopefully more than one. And if you like our webinar, please put a thumb up for us, and I will see you again. Bye-bye.